Hello, welcome back to the cocktail vlog. I'm Steve the bartender and it is week 7 judging of the coffee cocktail challenge. So that means we're on to week 8 currently. So we're getting very close to discovering who the grand final, the grand prize winner is. Got 3 great entries today. There's heaps of people on the website, thecoffeecocktails.com.au. So there was a ton of votes and the 3 top cocktails received crazy amounts of votes. The first of all, the one that finished on the most by, I believe your name is pronounced Arjun, hope that is correct, the BFF, aka the Black Forest Fizz. So there's an interesting array of flavours in this one, but Arjun describes this as the BFF brings together a shot of energy courtesy of Mr. Black, infused with foresty botanicals flavours, topped off with a refreshing citrus effervescence. Start the weekend off with a kick, cool down after work, or add some zest to that hot date. My wife is behind the camera just shaking her head at me. So this one is a shaken cocktail and it's served over a large cube of ice. I will put a few cubes in here just to chill down the base of that glass. It's real thick glass. So that when I put that cube in, it doesn't melt it straight away. Okay. Start off with Mr. Black cold brew coffee liqueur. And we're measuring out 22.5 ml, 3/4 ounce. And adding that straight into the cocktail shaker. Then we've got Diplomatico, a Venezuelan rum. I just picked this up a couple of hours ago, actually. So they do say that it's on a couple of websites, a 12-year-old rum, but they've taken their age statement off and they describe it as having rum up to 12 years. So which is the reason why they've taken the age statement off. Because if you were to write 12 years on it, it needs to have a minimum of 12 years or above, whereas they've gone the other way. So I'm not sure if in Venezuela the rules are different. This one calls for 15 ml, half an ounce. And for those who haven't tried Diplomatico before, it's a delicious rum. You get a lot of fruit cake and spice to it, and great just to sip on ice. Then we've got a gin liqueur. So he specifically called for Pomp and Whimsy, which is an American gin liqueur. There's not a great deal of options here in Australia. Literally, I only had an option of Edinburgh. There's 2 different varieties, so I had a raspberry or a rhubarb and ginger. But I did reach out to Arjun and he said to use any gin liqueur. This is my first time trying this as well, actually. And it calls for 30 ml, 1 ounce. Ooh. Super gingery on the nose. It's a sweet liqueur, but it's actually quite yum. So 30 ml, 1 ounce. Do you have a call card? My wife's just made up a cue card to tell me to smile more. All right, next ingredient. No, it was just those 2 dashes of orange bitters. So we're going a mix of Fee Brothers and Regan's. Then these ingredients are shaken separately. Yep. I'm making a mess back here. Shake with a few cubes for 10 to 15 seconds. And strain into a rocks glass over a medium cube. I'd say that's medium-ish. Strain over the top. And pour the grapefruit juice into the glass, add a couple of splashes of soda and give it a quick stir. So essentially just adding a grapefruit soda. We've got 60 ml of grapefruit. Personally, I'd prefer to add the grapefruit into the shaker, shake it so it's nice and cold, and then adding the soda at the end. Because at the moment, it's just warming up that drink a little bit. And 30 ml. 1 ounce. There you go. Garnish with maraschino cherry. Easy. Garnish with the maraschino cherry. I'll just drip that everywhere. Give it a quick stir to combine the grapefruit and the soda. And there you have the BFF, aka the Black Forest Fizz. Cheers. It's actually surprisingly light, very easy to drink. I think that's due to the fact that it's got the 2 ounces of grapefruit juice with the soda water. So there's 90 mils of liquid as well as the dilution. So it's relatively soft, but it's vibrant and it's easy to drink. On to cocktail number 2, the Vietnamese Coffee Martini by Ling and Tonic. Vietnamese coffee is an amazing caffeine-heavy coffee made with espresso and condensed milk. What better way to celebrate my culture than turning it into a cocktail? For those who've been watching the channel for a while, know that I don't like creamy cocktails, but you probably don't realize that I absolutely love Vietnamese iced coffees. I drink them all the time. So this may win me over as far as creamy cocktails go. So first of all, you start off with dissolving condensed milk in hot espresso and letting it cool. So I've got that here, which is 30 ml of strong espresso and 2 teaspoons of condensed milk. So condensed milk, really sweet. I'm excited to make this one. So let's start on with the Mr. Black, 2 ounces, 60 ml. So it's quite heavy on the coffee and the caffeine, much like the Vietnamese iced coffee. And we're following that with vanilla vodka. So I don't have a vanilla vodka, so I've used fresh vanilla beans into Finlandia vodka, and I'm measuring 30 ml 1 ounce straight into the cocktail shaker. And we have a splash of half and half. How much is a splash, Kat?
Say 40 ml.
40 ml. Oh. So half and half, half milk, half cream. I'll just give it a stir to make sure it's all combined. A splash.
Just splash it.
Just splash it. Splash it.
Yeah, that's it.
That was a heavy splash. I think it was. Lots of ice. Shake. Strain into a... Forget one of the core ingredients. I've been doing that a lot lately. Making too many videos. Drinking too many cocktails. All right. Give it a good shake. And into a chilled coupe glass it goes. Because that half and half and the condensed milk is really quite thick and creamy. And for garnish, we're going to finish it off with 3 coffee beans. Just perfectly placed. As well as a toasted star anise. I really need to invest in a slate block or something that I can use. Where's a nice piece? For lighting my herbs and spices and doing smoked cocktails. Bar top is good. Is that toasted enough? Cool. There you have the Vietnamese Coffee Martini. Cheers. I did give that the star anise, a heavy toasting, so therefore I am getting a little bit of a burnt kind of smell to it, but it's a burnt aniseed, so it's nice. Thick, creamy, rich, condensed milk kind of flavour, and lots of coffee. And onto the Sicilian Cafe by Nathan R. Nathan has actually already won one of our weeks. I think he won either week 2 or week 3 with the Mr. Swizzle. Delicious tiki style cocktail. This one's a little bit different to the first one, so a little bit less tiki style and more Italian Negroni-esque. So Nathan says, the goal here was to play with one of my favorite Amari, Averna Amaro Siciliano. This pandemic has seen me reminisce of better years. Thoughts of images of folks sipping their Negronis in the beautiful outdoor cafes of Italy come to mind. I wondered if I could create a drink that would fit right into that picture. Nathan's pulling on my heartstrings there because I absolutely love Averna of late as well. So this could be a close battle between these cocktails. So this is a stir drink. I'm going to start off with my mixing glass and measure out 1.5 ounces of bourbon. He particularly calls for a higher proof, such as Turkey 101. So 101 proof, 50.25%. And we're measuring out 45 ml. 1.5 ounces. Adding that straight into the glass. And I'm prefacing this by saying this is my kind of cocktail at the moment, lately. Averna, stir down, lots of coffee. These flavors, in my mind, work really well. 22.5 ml, 3/4 ounce. Mr. Black Cold Brew Coffee Liqueur, followed by the Averna Amaro. Same measurement there, 22.5 ml, 3/4 ounce. Then we've got a 2-to-1 honey syrup. So 2 parts honey, 1 part water, which essentially just thins it out, makes it easier to mix with. If you pour honey straight into a cocktail, especially when you put ice in it, it will just harden up and you just can't mix it through. So he's called for 7.5 ml, just a small measure, just to add a little bit of honeyed sweetness. Then we've got 3 dashes of orange bitters, combination of Fizz Brothers and Regans. So there's 2, and onto my third. It's kind of like half a dash, that one. Then fill the mixing glass with ice and give it a stir. This one, I'm stirring for about 40 seconds. Maybe a little bit less. Then we're going to strain that over a large single rock. If I can get it out of my ice chest. So strain it over the top. Glass is chilled, nice big rock. Should come close to the top. And we're garnishing, no, we're not garnishing, we're expressing and discarding the orange peel. And just leaving it ungarnished. So there we have the Sicilian Cafe. Cheers. The first note that I get on the nose is the honey. Honey's quite easy to kind of overtake a cocktail. And I think it very heavily relies on what particular honey you use. Ooh. That is yum. That's good. I definitely like the idea of using the higher proof whiskey in there. 101 has more of a rye, higher rye content, so it's a little bit spicier, which plays nice with the coffee and the dark kind of raisin-like characters of the Averna. Okay, onto the judging, the scoring. I've tasted them all. I've run through the points. I've got the winner down in front of me. I feel like there was a little bit of an unfair advantage because these two here tugged on my heartstrings. I love Vietnamese iced coffees. I drink them all the time. I love Averna. I love this template and this construction of the drink. So they also did have an unfair advantage to start with. As far as my palate goes and what kind of cocktails I enjoy to drink. In saying that, I don't usually like to drink creamy cocktails, but the cold Vietnamese iced coffee I do. The first one over here, I think there's a little bit too much dilution, especially with adding the grapefruit juice in after the shake. I think that would have played out better if it was shaken, poured in, and then added the spritz to the drink before straining it over the big cube. I think this just needs a little bit of tweaking. There's some interesting flavors, but also some clashing flavors at the same time. But I did substitute the gin liqueur, so it'd be interesting for those of you in the States who have access to Pomp and Whimsy, perhaps you'd like to give it a try. As I said, the Vietnamese Coffee Martini played at the heartstrings, and as soon as I sipped that, I did get taken. I reminisced over all those times I've actually sat down and had dinner and had a Vietnamese iced coffee. And then this, I love that template. As I said, the Averna, I feel like the honey flavor, as I mentioned before, can easily take over. And it was quite strong, it was quite dominant to start with, but then as it sort of progressed and diluted that a little bit further, it was really well balanced and delicious. But I had to say, I have to give it to the creamy cocktail. I love this. This kept bringing me back for more. I wanted to drink more Vietnamese iced coffee, more Vietnamese coffee martini. Congratulations to Ling and Tonic for taking out week 7 of the Coffee Cocktail Challenge. I can just send you to the website now, coffeecocktails.com.au, to vote. We can submit more cocktails, but you've only got a couple of days to be able to actually get votes. So make sure you visit the website and vote as much as you can for all your favorite cocktails so that we can find out who the week 8 winner is and who will take out the Coffee Cocktail Challenge. Overall, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for another cocktail video. Cheers.